Hi everyone, I wanted to leave you a message before Lag BaOmer begins. So Lag BaOmer is the 33rd day in the counting of the Omer, the time period between the second day of Passover, of Pesach, until Shavuot. So this journey from the Exodus from Egypt until we receive the Torah on Mount Sinai on Shavuot. And this period of time started out with this days of 49 days of counting, these 7 weeks of happiness and anticipation, going from one incredible moment in our history and in our lives to an even more astounding one. And then things shifted, because during the times of the Talmud, there was a discussion about how during these days the students of Rabbi Akiva were dying. And that transformed this period from a time that was just full of positive anticipation and all these happy feelings towards a time that also involves mourning practices and sadness. And we count all these days, and then we get to the 33rd day of the Omer, Lag BaOmer. And it becomes suddenly a time to stop the mourning practices. And the Talmud talks about there was a cessation of death. The students of Rabbi Akiva stopped dying on that day, and so we celebrate. But when I think about this, it feels really strange, because here we are, sandwiched in between these two unbelievable moments of the miracles of leaving Egypt, of freedom, of the splitting of the sea, and the revelation of receiving the Torah on Har Sinai, on Shavuot, and being in between, we have this day where we're celebrating just the cessation of death. And that just seems so counterintuitive to me, that is like this day that is so important in between these two big holidays. Until I had this experience last week, and that shifted how I thought about Lag BaOmer. So I want to share this story with you. Last week was, at least where I live, I don't know if it's totally national, but it was a day to celebrate all these animals that are therapy animals. So it was like therapy animal honoring celebration day. I'm not sure the exact words. And there was an event that I went to. And at this event, there were all these owners who had their pets with them. And the pets were all therapy animals. And you could go around and pet the animals, and they had these like little cards, like baseball cards, that you could collect with the animals' pictures and their bio on them. And I started talking to some of the owners, and they were each telling me what they do with their animals and where they bring them. And it was remarkable. I actually started crying at the event. It was so beautiful. Each one told me these various different places they go. One said, I go every day with my pet to the airport, and I'm there in case anyone has anxiety about flying and about traveling. And another said, I go to a high school during finals, and I'm there to help the students not feel too anxious or overwhelmed by the tests that they have to take. Another goes to a children's hospital. Another goes to a mental health facility. Another goes to a senior center. They go to all of these places. And what I noticed about what each of them was sharing with me is that they come in and people are having a difficult time. They're going through something hard. They're feeling something uncomfortable. And these pets come, and there's a cessation of that difficult emotion. There's a cessation of pain. There's a sensation of anxiety. All these feelings go away. And they might come back afterwards, after the pet leaves and after the day continues and after the next test comes or the next piece of hard news or the next flight. But there's this moment of peace and this moment where they don't have to suffer anymore. And the pet brings it to them, and of course the owner does as well. And it hit me when I was listening to these owners speak. I was like, you guys are Lag BaOmer. I didn't say that to them because they wouldn't have known what I was talking about. But they are. They're Lag BaOmer, right? They're the moment that comes in and says, yeah, it's been a really hard time. Just now you get to pause. You get to breathe. You get to stop having the sadness. And that in and of itself is a gift. And that in and of itself is so important that we each receive within our lives those moments to breathe, that we're going to celebrate, and we're going to celebrate as a people, and we're going to have bonfires and do all these other things to celebrate it. So on this Lag BaOmer, I want to wish you, if you're going through a hard time right now, I hope that you find a moment here or there where you can have a break from the hard time, even if it's temporary, even if it's just for a moment, just a little bit of a break. And if you know someone who's going through a hard time, then maybe today, maybe Lag BaOmer can be a day to reach out and do something. Maybe take them out to lunch, give them a phone call, bring them some flowers, roast a marshmallow for them. Do something that can allow them to have a momentary, even if it's very short, break from the hardship that they're experiencing. May ultimately we all be able to help people move past the moments of hardship to have a much longer, more beautiful, more restful break from the pain. So wishing you all a meaningful and happy Lag BaOmer.